Hey everyone, in today's review, I'm going to check out this set of brushes that was sent to me by this company called Fabart. So this is the case that holds the brushes. The case is actually, I would say, hardcover, but there is cushion padding on the front and back. And it's very easy to open. It snaps closed with magnets that are here and here. So these are the brushes. They are actually interchangeable brushes. So these are the bodies for the brushes, and these are all the different brushes included. There are 12 types of brushes here, and this is a little pin that's included. This looks like a small round brush. This is a rigger brush. This is a big round brush. I'm not sure what this brush is called. Let me pull this out. This is cut at an angle. By the way, all the brushes, they are made with synthetic hair. This is a flat brush, this is a fan brush, this is an angled brush, a Fabart. This is another flat brush, or maybe it's a comb. This is another flat brush. I'm going to test them out later on to see the difference. This is a cat's tongue, and this is another angled brush, or maybe a sword brush. And now I'm going to show you all the different types of strokes that these brushes can create. Let me fix this to the body. So this is a screw-on type of body. This part here is really shiny, and it actually looks quite nice. Now notice the tiny hole here and here. So this is for the pin. Let me just take out the pin. It's very easy to tighten the brush to the body, but sometimes if it's too tight, then that's where the pin comes in. So you can insert the pin through the holes and use it to loosen up. And this makes it very easy to remove the body. I have fixed up these 3 brushes here. So this is how they look like. Let me compare that to my other brush. This is a normal wooden brush, so the length of the brush is quite comparable. This is a good length to hold in hand. And this is a collapsible brush, which is slightly shorter. When the brushes are brand new, they are quite stiff, so you have to wet them first to make them soft before you use them. Alright, this is the small round brush. Let's see if I can get a very thin line. This is synthetic brush, and the size is quite small, so it doesn't hold a lot of water. It does have a bit of spring to it, so it does go back to its shape after you lift it. So this is going to be good for small details. But it dries up pretty quickly because it doesn't hold a lot of water. The next brush is a rigger. I feel that this is a bit fragile because the hair is quite long. Be careful not to bend the hair or damage the hair. So this brush can hold a bit more water, and it can draw for a bit longer. And this is great for drawing thin lines like this. This is quite nice. The next brush is a big round brush. This looks like a size 8 to me. Let's try to create some thin lines, thin and thick. It goes back to its original shape quite easily, so it has a nice spring to it. Since the brush is much bigger, it can hold more water. So this is quite nice. Let's see if the brush is capable of releasing water consistently. And now I'm using a sable brush just to see the difference. When the brush is loaded with a lot of water and paint, you're going to get something like this. But overall, I think this brush, this synthetic hair, is actually quite capable of releasing water consistently. So this should not be a problem when it comes to painting strokes with flat areas of color. And now let's try this little brush. So this brush is quite convenient for painting round shapes like this. It's cut at an angle, so if you want to, you can use this side to draw thinner lines. You can also get some sort of texture effect. Just paint onto the paper very lightly, barely touching the paper at all. Next we have the flat brush. This brush does not hold a lot of water. You can get lines like this. You press down a bit harder. You can get thicker lines, but this is really meant to be used like this to cover a large area. So just 3 strokes like this and it runs out of water very quickly. And here's the very interesting fan brush. It's very convenient for creating textures like this. It runs out of water quite quickly as well. So this can be great for painting foliage, grass perhaps. Let's try the small angled brush. This works almost like the flat brush. I'm actually not sure how to use this because I can actually achieve this sort of strokes with the flat brush very easily. Now this brush is quite small, there isn't a lot of hair, so it gets dry very quickly. So perhaps these are the type of strokes I can create. Here's another angled brush. This is slightly larger compared to the earlier one, and also it's cut at a different angle. Sometimes this is called the dagger brush, if I'm not wrong, or the sword brush, I'm not too sure. This can be quite fun to use. It can hold more water, so you can paint larger strokes like this. And if you want the broad wash, you can just swipe it to the side like this. So on this side, I can get slightly thinner lines. This gives me a bit more control. This is the Fabart brush, so it has a shape that's like this. It's not like a flat brush. A flat brush will give you rectangular shape, but this shape, it has a round edge to it. Doesn't hold a lot of water as well. These are the last 3 brushes. Cat's tongue. This is the comb or the rake brush. Another flat brush. This is my first time using the cat's tongue. So on this side it's a bit more difficult to get the thin and thick lines, but on the flatter side you can get those lines very easily. I'm sure the cat's tongue has its use, but right now I cannot figure out how I would use it for my sketches. This is the comb or the rake. It's very easy to create thin lines, lots of thin lines like this. I guess this can be good for painting grass. long grass, tall grass. Maybe if you want to paint hair, you can do so as well. The lines can be very thin. If I press down a bit harder, let's see what I can get. If I press down hard, it's just another flat brush, but with texture, with those little hair at the end. And lastly, we have another flat brush. I'm not sure what's the difference between this and the earlier one. Alright, I think I can see the difference now. The earlier flat brush, it's shorter. This one is a bit longer. So this is the earlier one. Let's see how much paint it can hold. And this is the longer one. Actually, it's about the same. Maybe this holds a bit more paint. So there it is, all the brushes tested. Let me just put this back in very carefully. So these are actually elastic bands to hold the brushes down. I have to put in very carefully because I do not want to damage other brushes that are beside, because they are actually quite close together. And when I take out the brushes, I actually just pull them downwards like this. For example, I would just pull them down like this. Oops. And when I put them back, I put them back like this. So there is actually more space for the fan brush. You can see there is a bit more gap on the left side and the right side, but all the other brushes, they are quite close together. The variety of brushes that's included in this set makes this a rather versatile set. So there are many different types of effects you can create with all these different brushes. Now the interior of this case is some sort of fabric. When you close the case like this, there is no ventilation, so to dry the brushes properly, you have to open them up. I'm going to put this under the sun to dry this completely, to make sure that everything is dried properly. Overall, the build quality of the brushes, it's quite good. Wooden body, anodized aluminum. This is nylon hair. The only downside is, well, they do not hold a lot of water, but that is to be expected with synthetic brushes. Now the price of this set is actually $25 US. That is not inclusive of shipping. So for $25 US, you can get 12 brushes like this with 3 interchangeable bodies. I think it may actually be quite a good deal. So that's all for today's review. If you have any questions, let me know in the comment section below. If you want to find out where you can buy these brushes, just check out the link in the video description below. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video. Bye!